well, someone on your side decided to name it that. What it is to do with you.
So here we go. This is what you start with, something like that. There's a plug in the middle of the tile. Just mark it out as good as you can, as tight as you can, and then you slowly cut it, on the front. Just drop it right in and cut as close to the line as you can, and then eyeball it from the back and cut the same way, and just do it very slowly, and eventually you get something like this, cut on the front and the back. And then you take something and you just tap the corners real lightly, and eventually they'll break out, and you're left with a nice square in the middle of your tile. So it takes a while, but gets a nice cut. You also want to be careful when you're cutting. If you press too hard on the blade, it'll bend the tile and it'll break. So go slow, cut shallow at first, and then maybe you can reuse that piece later in a corner, so it's not a total loss. And here's an example of, I've cut the front as much as I can all the way to the corner. You want to make sure to cut the glazing so that it doesn't crack or fisheye or anything like that. The back hasn't been cut, and as you see, the short sides didn't go all the way through. So you're going to want to eyeball it, line it up, with the hole on the blade, and cut it from the back, again going as shallow as possible and slowly chewing your way through. And on the back side, you want to cut past the line, not too far, but far enough to where you can cut the corner cleanly. When you're cutting, you want to cut shallow, and eventually it's going to work. You're going to want to cut it as deep as you can without overcutting. But again, you want to start shallow as possible. Just take your time and slowly chip away at it. So here we go. Here's my second attempt. As you see, the front's cut nice and clean all the way to the glazing, no overcut. And I just finished the back, and you can see I overcut the corners, but you can do that from the back because you don't see it. So now I'm ready to take my tool and just give it a little tap around, try and find one that breaks. Let's see, now just bend it. There it goes. And you can clean up the corners if you want, or if you need to, just to get the sharpness off, because that's pretty sharp. So now I'm going to talk about putting a round hole in a bigger tile. Say in a shower you want a shower head, or you could do a bigger hole for an escutcheon or a toilet drain, in case it's in the middle of a tile. It's still possible, and this is how I do it. This is a junk tile, so I just marked 3 and 4 inches, off each corner, and made a square. And then on the back, I marked the same 3 and 4 inches, and I'm going to cut it from the back. And you can score a little bit in the front to try and, keep the glazing nice and sharp. But I do most of the cutting from the back, so I'm going to start that, and I'll show you how it is before I break through. So here's the cuts from the back. One piece already fell through, but I just cut down each line and then cut diagonally. On the front, I tried to score it a little bit, and then I'll just take a junk piece of tile and tap it. There you go. There's a hole, and if it's not big enough, then you can etch it out from the back and just slowly nibble your way through. But this is how I do it. Thank you.